to the Trudy Haynes Show. I want to tell you about a fantastic fashion show that I went to recently, and I'm very lucky to have the people who were responsible for that. Julie and Paul, and they'll tell you who they are, but you're the boss of the whole arts department.
Yes, I'm Paul Biderman, president of the Avenue of the Arts, and the Friends of the Avenue of the Arts, which is the organization that helped put on the flower show, is part of our organization.
Julie, you were in charge of the fashions, and I want to tell you they were spectacular.
I'm glad that you enjoyed.
It moved very well. It moved fast. I liked it and everything. But in addition to enjoying it, there was a special reason that this all came about. You want to tell me why you got involved with this?
Well, I was approached by the community. What is she? The community director,
Doesn't matter who approached
Bonnie
you,
Harmon.
did it.
Right, and she just had a desire to do a fashion presentation to add to the standard meet and greet that Friends of the Avenue of the Arts generally has. So that's how I became involved.
And it's called the Avenue, the Friends of the Avenue.
The Friends of the Avenue of the Arts.
Who really sponsored the show.
Yes, and it's one of 40 events or so that they have every year. It was a
Who
very
they?
big one that the Friends have each year on the Avenue of the Arts.
So we'll be a part of a big organization.
Well, yes, it's all volunteers, and Bonnie is a volunteer with the Friends of the Avenue of the Arts, and they, as I said, do about 40 events each year to help market the Avenue of the Arts, to help enhance and create its image. The Friends of the Avenue of the Arts is an all-volunteer organization, and Bonnie is one of those volunteers. And the Friends have about 40 events each year to help support the performance companies, the performance venues, and the businesses along the Avenue of the Arts.
Now let me get this straight. We came, saw a great fashion show, but we're not, or did we become Friends of the Arts?
About 100 people that night became members of the Friends of the Avenue of the Arts.
And that's what you're all about.
That's right. And it costs all of $25 a year for an individual to become a member of the Friends of the Avenue of the Arts. They get invited to, like I said, about 40 different types of events each year.
40?
40. And
they get invited?
Yes, there's a constant communication about what events are occurring and information. There's book clubs, there's theater clubs, events at all the different venues along the Avenue. They volunteer to help serve food at the Broad Street Ministries. So everything that goes on the Avenue of the Arts, the Friends are an integral part of it.
So you will notify us, of course, or
Yes.
your organization will notify us when these things are going on.
When these things are
For
happening.
instance, what do you
That's
have
right.
coming up?
Oh, well, there's a big event on May the 15th. Avenue of the Arts Incorporated is having its first inaugural Avenue of the Arts Visionary Awards. And we're going to be giving those awards, the first ones, to former Mayor and Governor Rendell from the public sector, and Carl Dranoff, who is a developer who has done significant investment along the Avenue of the Arts as well from the private sector. And this is something we want to do each year. But it's going to be at the Lucy at Broad and Locust Street on May the 15th, and it's going to be a fun party. And the Friends play an integral role in helping pull all of that together.
All right, so the people who came to the fashion show the other day, and they paid $25?
If you remember, it was free.
Oh, that doesn't sound bad at all.
That's it. This event we're having, that's a fundraiser for the Avenue of the Arts Incorporated. That's an event that people would pay to go to. And there are a few others that there might be some payment involved. But the vast majority are meet and greet type of things that we offer to add value for being a friend, but then also bring traffic out to the businesses where the Friends might participate or take advantage of the food or services or the show that business provides.
I would say, wouldn't you,
Right.
Julie?
So we'll work with the Chamber Music Society or the Wilma Theater or other organizations to get people to come to an event where we'll have a meet and greet before it, but then they may purchase tickets to go to the show.
Okay, that's a good deal.
Yeah,
I think it's a very good deal.
And on top of all that, you get discounts at many of the businesses along the Avenue of the Arts. Aquamero, which is the restaurant at the Ritz, the Capitol Grill, discounts at the gym memberships. Brooks Brothers and other clothing stores provide discounts.
That sounds like a good deal.
It's a wonderful deal. It's a wonderful deal.
For the fashion show, this is something that you do ordinarily, put fashion shows together. This is your career.
Well, it's something that I've done on the side for many years, probably 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been producing fashion shows along with my husband. So we've done shows here in Philly, shows in Delaware, Jersey.
And so you are responsible for getting the models, the location. How about the location? You had, this affair was at the lower level of the Bellevue, and
yes.
a lot of people haven't even been to the Bellevue, so that alone
Right.
was worth, coming to
Yes,
for the fashion
that's
show.
right. And they were kind enough to allow us to use that facility for the event because they work with us on a regular basis in a whole variety of ways. And we want to bring, it helps the folks there and the businesses there, they get to come in and see what's happening inside the Bellevue, which is great for them.
Okay, so now if we didn't pay there and were a member, some people might want to join. What
Sure.
would they do?
It's easy. You can go on the Avenue of the Arts Incorporated website and click into the Friends section. And you can see events that are happening there, and there's an easy access to join, to become a friend. And there's the ability to buy tickets for this event that we're having on the 15th of May as well.
So I would say that you started something big and important because the arts is the center of entertainment
Yes.
in Philadelphia, and to know what's happening, even if you don't go, you're aware of things that are going on.
Exactly.
That you can take advantage of. Okay, friends, get busy and
That's right.
become a friend of the arts.
Over 2.5 million people come to the Avenue of the Arts each year. The Friends have existed for over 10 years, and they have over 2,500 members right now.
And I'm going to be number one.
2,501. There you go.
Okay. Folks, there's a lot of talk going around town. People saying, don't forget to get your flu shot. Why? I thought we were through with all that. Dr. Lawrence Robinson is with me. He's a special guest to tell us why they're still talking about getting a full shot. Why?
Well, I'm actually still giving out the flu shot. The actual cutoff date for the flu shot is March 31st.
Oh, that long.
So we have about 4 more weeks of the flu left.
So you're saying it's not too late?
It's not too late. I work for the Homeland Security Immigration. So many times I get immigrants that come who want to become citizens. I'm a civil surgeon. So in order for them to become citizens, one of the things that is required is that they have their flu shot. And I'm required by the government to make sure that they get their flu shot up until March 31st.
Well, that would mean this is kind of longer than it usually is, isn't it?
No, this is the normal season. It
Really?
goes. It starts. In the fall, and it goes through until the spring.
So again, remind people why it's so important to have a flu shot, because a lot of people think they get the flu when they get the shot.
Well, it's very interesting. A lot of people don't know how serious the flu is. But actually, the flu is one of the biggest killers in terms of mortality. It kills more people than you would even imagine. And especially people who have chronic disease and elderly people. In fact, if you look at the statistics on how and when people die, you have an increased number of deaths during this period. And most of those deaths are due to complications of the flu. So it's not so much the flu virus itself, but it's the things that you get that are on top of the flu. One of the worst things, of course, is pneumonia. So if you have a bad case of flu and you get a pneumonia on top of that, that could potentially be life-threatening.
But a lot of people do get a pneumonia shot.
Yes.
Well, maybe not as much as they should, but a lot of people do get a pneumonia
Some people
shot.
get
Is
them, but
good?
that's not used as well as it should be either. Because there is a pneumonia vaccine, and you would be surprised, especially among elderly people, a lot of them will not take or have not taken those shots yet.
What are some of the symptoms? It's like a lot of people think when they get the flu shot that they're getting the flu.
Well,
that they get the flu.
You have to actually understand what goes on with the flu. Because the flu shot is not 100% effective, okay? Which could be part of the problem. So what they do is they have surveillance around the world, and they predict what strains of flu will hit based on what flus are in other parts of the world. Okay, and the flu shot usually contains several types of flu. It's not just one flu. It's a mixture of various flus that they put into the same shot. Okay, so they could be wrong and not get the prevalent flu that is happening at that time. They could miss it. But there is protection that's offered by the type of flu. So even though it may not be 100% effective, even if they're off, it will still offer additional protection rather than if you never did have the flu shots. So that's very important to remember that. The other issue with the flu shot is that people wait too late to take it.
That's why I'm concerned about this stage.
Yeah, they wait too late to take it. So many times people have symptoms of the flu, and that's when they'll go in and say, oh, I didn't get my flu shot. I better go in and get the flu shot now.
That's why I asked you, is it too late?
Yes, well, it's not too late. But if you've already had the symptoms and, and gone through, of course it's too late because you've already had the flu. Yeah. Many people have already had it. And in fact, I have had people who have come in my office and they say, oh, doctor, I went to get the flu shot and the people told me that it was too late because I already had all of the symptoms and of the flu already.
Is that true?
So, that's true. And so then they would not give it to them. Because
Should not.
Well, the pharmacists would not give it to them because they went to the pharmacy, the Rite Aid and the CVS and stuff. They usually give out the flu shots, and so they have a person there and they ask them a series of questions.
So the lesson here is, sum it up.
Get the flu shot as soon as you can, and I recommend that you take the flu shot at the beginning of the season. So when the fall hits. Soon as the flu shot is available, that's when you should take it. You shouldn't wait until March to take the flu shot.
From the mouth of Dr. Lawrence Robinson. It is a pleasure to talk to Kathy Lee, the original. Now, what do I mean by that? She's a dear friend. Kathy Lee is the kind of a person who believes in facts whenever she can get them. And we've been talking, sitting here waiting to go on about DNA because she is one of the few people that I know personally who went through the process. So welcome, and how did you start it?
Well, I started it because you asked me to. You wanted to do a show.
Out that you were nosy.
Well, you wanted to do it, but you wanted me to do a show on DNA, and I said, I just so happened to have ordered some kits. And how I ordered the kit was they were showing the commercials on television, and really emails popped up. They always pop up. And so I ordered a 23andMe DNA test. I ordered a National Geographic, and I ordered an Ancestry. And the reason I ordered all three is the reason why you introduced me to somebody who wanted the facts. Because I wanted to know if they... Well, I just wanted to know if they were all going to come up with the same results.
Okay.
And basically, they came up with the same results.
Okay, now, how did you do it first? I mean, how did you get it prepared? You got a package.
Yeah, it takes 5 minutes. Actually, takes 2 seconds. You cannot eat or drink 30 minutes prior to taking the test. And all you do is you take out the little tube. It gives you a tube. You open it up, the cap, and then the cap has a little liquid in it. And when you snap it shut, it mixes a saliva. All you do is just...
Drink it?
No, you expel your saliva.
You spit in it.
Yeah, you spit.
Oh, okay.
You just spit until the fill line, and then you snap the cap and you shake it and you put it back in the prepaid little mailing package, and then you ship it off. But you have to register it online. So they have a registration number, the number of a kit.
Okay.
So let's say it's JPZ 1093 58 28 50. That's your number. And once you register it under your name, you have to go online and register on this site. Once the sample comes, they say, hey, your sample has arrived. Okay. And then you have to wait. And then they'll tell you what's happening with your sample. We're processing it. Your results will be ready. And
how long does it take about?
It varied between different ones. I'm going to say on the average between 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. So now you know who you are.
Yes, now I know who I am. But I kind of guessed who I was. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to guess that,
you don't have to guess. You know.
Well, I know, but I figured out I wasn't off. I figured I was going to come up about 50-50, and that's exactly
that you're made up
50%
of?
European, about 50% African. And I was off by 2 percentage points because 2% said that I was Native American. I'm just telling you what it said.
Yeah, you like that. So now,
No, I like the African part the best.
Okay, what did you find out that you have certain number of relatives all over the world? Or,
I have relatives. My DNA covered this entire planet except for Australia.
Okay, what did you find?
Let's see.
Go through it.
Oh, well, National Geographic said that of all the populations on the planet, I'm closest to the Bermudians. My first family is Bermudian. Mm-hmm. My second family would be African American. And I'm trying to figure out the difference because every time I go to Bermuda, they look like regular black people anyway. So I'm like, well, But I think they're talking about the mixture, mm-hmm. the genetic makeup of the African European. Primarily, that's what's there.
Did you find out anybody that you suspected that you were, or that you know, or have you met anyone?
No one from Bermuda, but I have found, it's interesting because I'm very adventurous, and once I see you're related to me, I don't care what your ethnicity is. I'm going to say share with me, connect with me. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, a lot of 100% cousins of mine are European. They have no problem connecting with me. Some of them I found are second cousins. Mm-hmm. Now they're second cousins because we all we shared the same set of great-great-grandparents. And my great-great-grandparent was John Wilson Cunningham, a plantation owner. Okay. So there's no doubt in my mind that's where that line came from. That's how we're second cousins.
You said cousins. Do you have anyone else or have you met anyone, or have you heard from anyone?
Yes, I've connected with second cousins on mm-hmm. my father's side, and I received photographs of my great-great-grandmother that no one on my side of the family had.
And you found these?
Yes, they sent it to me. Phyllis Poteet, my cousin Phyllis in North Carolina. To be honest with you, that's the coolest part about doing it.
Why?
Because as an African American, we were during the great scattering of enslavement. And after the Civil War, there were millions of formerly enslaved Africans looking for family members, and they couldn't do that. But now with this DNA, guess what? You can. Because I'm finding relatives as far away as Mississippi, as far away as Texas. And when I look at the line of the Cunningham line, when Alexander Cunningham died in 1848, he built the Waverly plantation that my great-grandfather was born on. They broke it down into 5 lots. One lot went to Alabama with one son. Another one went to Kentucky. So that's how you can have, let's say, like a Cunningham in Virginia, North Carolina, Alabama, Texas. The same thing with a Williams, a Johnson, typical African-American names.
Okay.
That's how, because the property was divided amongst the children, and they went walking with their property, setting up as they moved the Indians, they brought in the Africans.
So with you, the DNA is meaningful.
Oh, sure. I didn't think it would be, so I want to thank you for that, because I kind of already knew who I was. I still know who I am. It's just giving me access to...
it's verified.
No, I didn't need verification because my family had been researching our history for a long time, and there's longevity.
So for someone out there who's never done this and thought about it, like me, for instance, I don't care where I came from. I'm here, and I got to deal with it. As a very good friend of mine, Tony J, says, it is what it is. But you're saying that it is meaningful.
Sure it is, because guess who I'm related to? Ramses III.
Okay.
Even though he was murdered, it's okay. But,
okay.
What I'm really looking forward to is I really want to find more, like they tell me I'm 21% Nigerian, but that's a political country. That's a country. Mm-hmm. It doesn't tell me what ethnicity I am. So I'm really waiting for them to really kind of hone down and get samples from people on the continent of Africa, because I have to have some relatives there. And those are the ones that I really want to connect with. I want to know, am I Yoruba? I want to know if I'm Bambara. I want to know if I'm Mandingo or Igbo. That's what I want to know.
And so how would you go about that? And we have to
Well, you have to get more people over there in West Africa and across the
get their
continent
DNA, huh?
to give their DNA samples so they can actually pinpoint where you go. Because everybody thinks all Africans look alike. Just like we talk about Native Americans on this continent, we were just having that discussion. This is a continent. Our country is part of, we're the largest portion of the continent, but you have Canada above. We're in the middle and Mexico below. All the Native Americans don't look like Apaches or Sioux.
well,
Because
there
all
you go.
Europeans don't look alike. All Africans don't look
I
alike.
told you there's one only. Kathy Lee, thank you for being our guest, and congratulations. You're now on the road to knowing who you are.
That's right. And I am a genetically modified African, made in the Americas.
Piper Owens was in business doing fixing wheelchairs when I first met her. And when I told her this is going to be on air, she said, I'm not doing that much anymore. I'm doing power training. Okay, girl, what's that all about? Why?
Well, I prayed for strength as a little girl, and I started at 16 in Pittsburgh Job Corps, and I did lift 550 pounds. That was my max weight. And, you know, life happened, had children, so on and so forth. So over a year ago, I came to the Powerhouse Gym, and I met my trainer, and he got me started deadlifting again.
Why? Why that?
Why deadlift? Because it's a sense of therapy. It's if you're angry at something or depressed or whatever, I use the gym. I use the gym for my strength. I could take it out on the weights. You know, I could talk to a lot of the guys here. They said they give me encouragement to keep on going. I can do it. And I just kept building my strength up and up and up.
This has a lot to do with how you felt about your background, too.
Yes, it did, yes. Well, you know, just as a little girl, just monsters in the closet. You know,
Are they skeletons?
skeletons, yes. I felt like it was monsters because family members,
It was hard to deal with.
yes, it was very hard to deal with.
And this gives you relief?
Yes, it does. It really does. It kind of changed my mindset on things, kind of put things behind me. And every time the thoughts come to my mind, I just go harder, lifting weights and training harder because eventually it's going to come to pass and go away.
Now, you're training. What do you mean by training? What do you do?
Okay, so what I do, I come in the gym and I deadlift the barbell up to like 350 pounds. You know, it's just keep building my strength up, and I'm trying to get up to 400 max by my competition in June in Delaware.
Oh, competition. You're not just doing this because you like it, but you're doing this for a reason.
I'm doing this for a reason, yes.
And tell me about the contest. I mean, you've won some some medals already?
Yes, I actually went to Vegas last year, December the 13th to the 18th. I stayed to the 18th because the 17th was my birthday. But the competition, deadlifting competition, was on the 16th of December. And I won a gold and a bronze in deadlifting.
Okay, girl, go girl. What is the next one that you're going to?
It's called Rumber on the Riverside in Wilmington, Delaware. And that's June the 8th of this year.
Well, are you the only girl in this powerhouse gym?
It's a handful of us in here, but I'm the strongest one here so far. And, you know, it's great. It's really great to be the only female in here lifting heavy weights.
All right. You know women are taking over now, and so there'll be more women coming in. What's a safe age to do this?
A safe age, you can start around 16, but there are some children that's actually powerlifting at the age of 8. Because, you know, it's their parents are doing it. You know, it's been a lot of bullying in school. So they're trying to find some type of defense mechanism to help them, you know, with bullying. And it's therapy. We all go through PTSD, a lot of stress, a lot of different things. So weightlifting coming back into play is helping us with that.
Girl, I congratulate you for doing this. And it just seems to be so out. Some people are afraid to do it because they're going to get too muscular. Right. I mean, how do you deal with that?
Well, it's not about muscular. You don't have to have muscles to have strength. I had natural strength at 16. You know, it's all about what you eat, you know, what you drink, and just, you can start light. You start building your reps up, building your max up. You don't have to get bulk. That's just a misconception of, oh, you're going to look like a man. It's not about that.
Okay. Listen, you hold this and you tell me, can you do anything with this?
Yes, I can, Miss Trudy. I'm going to whip you back into shape. Let's go. Get on it, sitting like this. Put these underneath your knees, and you can actually reach up and you can pull down.
Now, how much weight can you do on this?
I could do 90 pounds. 90 pounds.
You're headed for 400?
400 pounds, yes.
By June.
By June. I'm going to get there.
So this is something, in fact, all of these things that you want to happen when you get into a powerhouse gym. Oh, here, who's that guy coming over here? That's your trainer?
Oh, that's my trainer, Todd.
Okay.
This is my trainer, Todd.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
You working out Piper today?
Yes, I'm working her out. She's getting ready to do a contest. But tell me, is this something that is becoming very popular?
I think it's been popular a long time. Some folks just didn't get in the habit of it, but hopefully we can meet them and help them get excited as much as we are.
And this is a little above just going to the gym. So do you have to be a certain type or have certain health to come in here?
Of course, you need to have a certain level of health. We trainers help evaluate fitness levels and health history, but we can take any level. We can help anybody. That's how I met Piper. She came here a year ago, and she was trying to get back in the old college shape. She hired me as her trainer, and we started working out. Now it's history.
Oh, what can you do for me?
I can do anything you want to do, right?
Can you do something with this old body? Let's see.
As long as you're willing and able.
All right, I'm willing. I don't know if I'm able, but let's go to something and try it out.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Go over here.
And she's showing off.
Good job. That's right.
What's happening on there?
No problem, right?
What's something on here?
She said put something on there.